So, Ragmork is an independent film released in 2019 and is written and directed by Eric Whiting out of Ohio. I just finished reviewing Primordial, and this is, I believe, his next film after that one. And yeah, it's pretty dark. A little darker than Primordial, I'd have to say. Still very enjoyable. Shot completely in black and white. And amazing cinematography again, very dark cinematography for sure. Basically, the story follows this guy named Victor who is very bored, I would say, in life, and starts off with him kind of just quitting his job and talking about how he wants to basically start life over. Kind of feeling like he wants to just stop surviving. And he mentions he doesn't want to survive, he wants to actually live. And he just wants like a clean slate to basically surrender himself and give up everything he's ever built and just start over, basically. And it follows a lot. It's a huge character development again, just like Primordial was. Again, Eric Whiting really knows how to build characters in depth, and I really appreciated that again in this male character in Ragmork. Ragmork basically is a figure slash presence that Victor has been followed by and seeing since he was a child. That started getting stronger when he moved in with his grandparents. Victor, you start to see, has had a very dark and sinister past as the film goes on, and he keeps having this vision of this Ragmork figure, which is basically like a very zombified, like almost undead character, very very zombie like. But he's constantly seeing this figure, this presence, especially at night, and in his it kind of seems like a hallucination. And throughout the film, things seem very dreamlike because it shows him, the way the cinematography is, everything kind of feels like a dream. But as the film progresses, it more so feels like he's suffering from insomnia, basically. It more so seems like he can't sleep at all, and as the film progresses, it seems like he's sleeping less and less. He becomes very exhausted looking, and the visions get stronger, and he's very much into guns as well, and he's always basically in hunting mode. He's always trying to chase down this Ragmork demon figure everywhere, and I wrote down here basically, this film feels like an experiment on the psyche. That's the best way I can describe this film. It's a really abstract experiment on the psyche, and this film is abstract as fuck. This film definitely will benefit from multiple viewings, and I can definitely see you, or the viewer, the audience, picking up on a lot more with every view, and getting different perspectives from it. But yeah, it's extremely abstract, whereas Primordial was a much more linear story with abstract elements. This one is pretty much fully abstract from beginning to end, which I love. I mean, that gives films so much rewatch value and so much so much more to think about, basically. And I really very much appreciate that kind of thing. The script is, again, great. Eric, knows how to write scripts, but man, is it vulgar. Holy shit. There is a line, which I've never heard in my life, where Victor's grandfather uses the term cunt droppings to refer to children. I was like, what? Oh my god, I've never heard that term before in my life to refer to a child as cunt droppings. It was hilarious. Yeah, the script is, there's actually not too much dialogue in this film. There's actually a lot more silent moments comparing to Primordial, which I dug a lot. The silent moments in this film, and where the scenes are just relying on atmosphere and music, are top notch. Speaking of music, both Primordial and Ragmork, they have a metal soundtrack, and I'm generally not a fan of metal in movies, but I have to say the song selection in this film is really good. I really love and really dig the metal selection in this film. There's and Primordial as well. There's a lot of symphonic death metal and like blackened death metal, where like very symphonic sounding black metal and death metal, and I really dug it. Kind of like very instrumental with the guitars, and with the black metal screams. I really dug. Like I said, I really dug the soundtrack and the song selection. So that's another positive. Like I said, this one is not as linear. It's way harder to follow, but it's also cool to dive into as well. It gives you an amazing atmosphere. One of the actresses from well, there's two actresses from Primordial that come back, but one of them in particular, the girl who played Tina, Erin R. Ryan. She is so fucking hot, man. And you get to see her nude in this one, which is nice. She plays a girl named Regina in this one, and she basically comes to Victor's character in like flashbacks, and there's another character, a male character in particular, who I'm not gonna mention who he is, but he also repeatedly comes into Victor's mind as a flashback throughout the film, and something involving him is revealed at the end of the film, which basically ties up Victor's psychology in a sense. With this character, it's very obvious on why Victor's psychology is the way it is, but with other characters as well, such as Regina, she kind of you start to wonder whether she's a real character or not as well. You do start to wonder that with a lot of characters. What's a figment of his imagination and what's not, and who's not. And like I said, I think from what I get, I think him suffering from insomnia, especially because of this Ragmork presence, is what makes him basically lose his mind, and makes this film an experiment on the psyche, basically. But that's pretty much all my notes. I definitely give this film a recommendation if you're into more artsy style of film, and if you're into the dark stuff and dark cinematography, this one is it's pretty pitch black. But yeah, that's Ragmark, and I basically said everything I have. I think I basically covered it all. And again, I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. I'm so much more used to spoiler reviews where I just discuss the whole film from beginning to end, but I like to keep this spoiler free. Again, same reason. If you missed my last review, when it comes to independent cinema, well, first of all, when it comes to spoiler-free review, I literally just consider that an oxymoron, because I believe any review is already a spoiler automatically. So as a lover of going into films blind, I find, especially with independent cinema, they're the best to go into blind. And it's definitely a real treat, just literally not knowing anything about it. Just it's a character study, and and that's pretty much all you need to know. So yeah, good stuff, and really talented stuff from the director. And I really look forward to checking out more of Whiting's stuff, because I certainly appreciate his vision. So yeah, that's my review for that, and I hope I kept it as spoiler free as I could. And yeah, check it out, Ragmork and Primordial. I recommend both. So till next review, cheers.